You guys, welcome back. Did you get yourself saying that? You guys, welcome back to this episode of Talkin Schmitt. It's me, Mother. Hello. I've missed you, besties. What is going on? Before I dive into the episode, I want to let you guys know about some upcoming shows I have. January 7th, I'm in Portland, Oregon. January 8th, Seattle, Washington. January 27th, Raleigh, North Carolina. January 28th, Austin. February 13th and 14th, Janesville, Wisconsin. March 30th, London. March 31st, Berlin. March 22nd, Amsterdam. I am so excited to get back on the road. I'm releasing a new special. By the time this episode's out, it'll be out. It's called Sorry Dad. You can get it on my YouTube. And I'm so excited to be working on my new hour and see you guys out on the road. How are you guys? I missed you. I feel like last episode I kind of just, I had Santino on and we just kind of blew past the fact that I'm moving out of LA. We didn't really give it any proper attention, so I want to talk to you guys about that this episode. Mr. Manhattan and I are moving to Palm Beach, Florida. He is putting me in a fucking home. He is retiring my ass. No, we're moving to Florida. He's opening a bagel shop there. It's called 212 Bagel Co. Bagel Co. I can't say bagel. It's like
bagel. It's very Wisconsin of you.
Bagel. 212 Bagel. He's like, it's a literal fucking hate crime against his company that I don't know how to say bagel.
That was good.
Bagel. Okay, 212 Bagel Co. So anyway, he's opening a bagel company. I said it wrong again. Bagel company. Fuck. This is not going to go well. And I'm going to be spending all of 2026 learning how to say bagel. So yeah, we're moving to Palm Beach. I'm so excited, you guys. I've lived in LA for nearly 15 years. I love it here. It is the only place I've really ever felt at home. It took a very short amount of time between me moving out of Wisconsin and into LA before I felt like when I got on a plane to come back to LA was home. LA was a place that when I was 10, my mom took me to Disneyland and I saw palm trees and the sunshine and the people and the ocean and the vibes. And I was like, oh my God, people live like this. This is so special and incredible. And my goal in life was always just to live in LA. My goal was never to be a comedian. My goal was, I never really had career goals. It was just LA was the goal. And then I got here and I had a really great big life and I'm so grateful for everything that I've done here. I had a big career in advertising and I started comedy here and I, bought my first house here and I lost my first house and I got married for the first time and I got divorced for the first time. Listen, a lot of my life has happened here. I got Biggie Smalls the dog here and I've had him for 12 years and I love him so much. He's coming with me to Palm Beach. The co-parenting will commence in January. My ex-husband got a new dog already and Biggie is coming with me to Florida and he's probably going to come on the road with me a lot because Mr. Manhattan is going to be busy making bagels for Palm Beach and he is not going to have time to help take care of a doggy. And plus, I don't know, Biggie's getting older and every time I leave him, I get so deeply sad because I'm just like, I don't want to leave him. I don't want to miss any part of his life. Like, I don't know. He's just so sweet and wonderful. And if you ever meet him, you're so lucky. Is he a perfect dog? No, but he's pretty good. Sorry, I'm talking like this. He's on my lap and I just want him to hear how much I love him. He's in a Gucci hoodie because it's getting cold out. But anyway, yeah, I'm moving and it's very bittersweet for me. I drive around and I look at the foliage and the greenery and the city. It's a city that I love so much and there's so much here that's wonderful. But, for the past few years, I've felt pretty untethered living in LA. I would say probably post-divorce, after I lost the house and just didn't have the stability of the marriage anymore. And, I'm on the road all the time as a touring comedian. So I come back and my friend circle has shrunk here and it feels like there's less for me here, and I don't want to base my life around a city anymore, especially when I met a partner that I'm really excited about, and I'm really excited to start a life with him, and I think we just want to do that. You know, there was a world where I waited out my tour, and then I moved to Palm Beach, but, you know, I don't like doing long distance. It's been really challenging for me. And when he and I are together, it's really easy. And we've coexisted together enough. You know, I've spent 2 weeks in New York. He's spent 2 weeks in LA. We've had enough solo time together living in each other's space to know that when we coexist together, we're going to be good. And listen, I know that I might have got behind a mic less than a year ago and said, I'll never fucking live with a man again. And I did. I say things all the time and I really mean them, and then I change. And I think that is the beauty of being human, is that we have permission to change. And I changed my mind, and I'm going to move to Florida with my man. And I'm really excited. I'm excited to build a home with him and to build a life with him. And I'm so excited for Jaw Renovations to come to our place out there. I am very sad to leave my place behind. It's, you know, so stunning, and I really have enjoyed living here. But like I said, I just feel emotionally untethered to this town. I haven't felt like, you know, yeah, I do spots, and I work here, and Mike is here. Mike.
I travel. Not well or cheap, but I travel.
Mike, I'm heartbroken to be leaving Mike behind. I want to bring him with me to Palm Beach, but I can't afford that now. So whenever I can, I'll get him out there. But yeah,
once Bagel Shop number 2 pops off.
Yeah, exactly. Once the dough starts rolling in.
With jokes like that.
I know, geez. Okay. Anyway, so that's what's going on in my life. I feel really chaotic right now, if I'm being honest. I decided to make December the busiest month of my year, which is crazy because this is the month where most people wind down. But I, launched the pod, which I, have saw some of your comments, and I'm so excited to have you guys all here with me, and your love does really truly mean the world to me. Like I said, I knew this was going to be a smaller party than the one we were at before, but I'm happy for those of you who have showed up this time. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry that I'm not your cup of tea solo. I totally get it. It's a different vibe when I'm, talking into the ether, and it might feel a little chaotic or disjointed because, first times are weird, and this is my first time doing a solo podcast, and it's a little weird talking to yourself. It's a little bit of a mental illness, you can diagnose it somewhere on the DSM for sure. So yeah, I launched a podcast. I'm launched a special, and I'm moving out of the state across the country to a brand new place where I don't really know anyone. And I'm excited. I'm excited for what lies ahead. Although, listen, all the stereotypes about Florida, little scared about those. We'll see what it's like. I don't really know. I've been to Miami a bunch. I love Miami. I'm moving for love, guys. I don't know what else to say. That's the truth. The reality of my job is I can do it from anywhere. I can podcast from anywhere, and I can travel to my stand-up gigs from anywhere. So I am going to do that, and it's going to be chaotic and crazy, and Mama's going to be stressed for the next couple of weeks. But the good news is there is no good news. No, the good news is there's absolutely no good news. So now I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm ready for a change of pace. I'm ready for a slower life. I've been saying that for a while. LA is still a fast life, even though it's a slow life in terms of a city. It doesn't feel like New York. It was in the cards for a little while. Mr. Manhattan and I were talking about him getting a place in Palm Beach and then us sharing a place in New York so that I could go do comedy and do shows. And then, when we realized the reality of him, like, I fully wrapped my head around the fact I was moving to New York. I went there and I was trying to enjoy it, but that city grates on me. There's so much energy. There's so much noise pollution. There's constantly a siren. There's constantly interference from someone walking directly at you. It's I think it truly is a city for young people. And I'm not saying that I'm not young because I'm a young baby girl, but I'm just saying, like, young, like 20 somethings. Like when I was on, coke and fucking partying, that would have been my city. But that's not my life anymore. I think it would have been a really tough place for me to relax in. Like even Mr. Manhattan now, because he's got rid of his place there, and when he goes back, he's like, whoa, this is really jarring. And he grew up there. Like he's been there his whole life. New York is just it's a different city. It's for a different breed, and I'm not that breed. You know, it's for a tough motherfucker. And I'm like a little too sensitive, and I meditate too much to not be affected by the noise and the chaos and the commotion and everything that's going on. And it is a city full of hustlers, and there's a ton of energy, and there's a lot of great social life and food and wonderful things about New York. But I think for me, ultimately, Florida feels a lot more aligned with what I like to do and how I like to feel. And I'm excited for the sunshine and like the warm winters and boat rides and just kind of enjoying my life a little more. And I am, like I said, excited to build a life with Mr. Manhattan. So that is the tea, you guys. I'm sorry that I just blew past it on the last episode, but Santino was on a roll, and you know, I wanted to let him cook. So that's what's going on with me. I will be moving. Don't worry, the podcast won't be taking a break. I'm going to be banking some episodes so you guys are fully fed while Mama is moving. But yeah, there's some big changes going on in my life, and everything I do, I'm kind of enjoying it. Like this might be the last time I do it. You know, I'm doing my little night walks down Rodeo, which I love because, you know, Rodeo during the day, I've talked about it before. I don't like it. I think it's hectic. I think that there's a lot of dark energy there. I think there's a lot of people that are, you know, selling themselves and their bodies for purses and bags. And there's a lot of people thinking, if I buy this bag, I'm going to feel like I belong, and da, 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 da. Like there's a lot of really dark energy there. But at night, it's just a bunch of really pretty stores all lit up. And I like to go walk down it. I actually did see something recently that said 75% of luxury spending comes from the middle and lower class, which is crazy. I just think that's a crazy statistic. And I think that like kind of reinforces something that I've said before, which is that our people are kind of spending outside of their means to get things that make them feel like maybe for 2 minutes that they made it, or that they belong to a higher tier of individuals. I've gotten to a point in my personal journey, and I'm not a fashionista, so like I don't take any fashion advice from me or any advice from me ever at all, because I'm not I shouldn't be anybody's hero. But I've gotten to a place where brands have started to give me the ick, like people that wear brands a lot. I'm like, what are you trying to prove and to who? And like, I understand there are people who genuinely love fashion and those brands elevate their wardrobes and they know what they're doing. But I think brands for the sake of brands have really given me the ick. Also, the amount of like fake shit that's clearly everywhere. I don't know. I think it's a more of a psychological thing for me. I'm like, what are you trying to prove and to who by wearing this thing? And listen, I have one purse that I love, and it has a big gauche YSL like bronze logo on it, and I won't get rid of it because I love this bag. It's the bag I got for myself after I got divorced. I think it's beautiful. I think it's stunning, whatever. So I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth right now, but I think I've gotten to a point where I see brands and I go, I don't like it. I don't like it. What are we doing? Why are we doing it? And then like when all the studies come out about, not studies, all the facts come out about, and this was really illuminated when Trump slapped tariffs on everything, and all of the Chinese manufacturers were like, here, we'll sell you the shit for what the stores are paying for it. And it's like, you're paying $5,000 for a bag that costs 12 is just kind of dumb. But anyway, to each their own. If you love a Gooch, if you love a Prada, if you love a YSL, you go, girl. Like, I want to empower you to do what makes you happy. I think I'm just sharing where I'm at in my journey with that. But yeah, all that to say, like, every time I'm doing anything in LA right now, I'm like, this might be the last time I do it. I took Biggie on a long walk down the boardwalk in Venice Beach the other day, and I'm like, this might be the last time you get to see a homeless guy on a unicycle with a machete, Biggie. So take it in, because this is the good stuff. This is what people pay the big bucks for. But no, I'm so excited to be on a beach again. I'm so excited to be on a warm beach. Biggie loves a beach. He sprints like a motherfucker down the sand. So I'm excited for my new life and a new chapter and everything that comes with it. And I'm excited to bring you guys along with me on the journey. And I'm feeling good. I'm reading a lot again, which is making me happy. I noticed myself going down the brain rot of like the social media reels and TikToks. And I was just like, oh, I can feel my brain falling out of my fucking ears. So I just started reading again. I started rereading and redoing The Artist's Way, which is a fantastic book and guidebook for those of you who haven't ever used it or heard of it. The Artist's Way is basically something that gets creatives out of their stuckness. Like if you're feeling stuck or if you're feeling in a rut, it kind of breaks everything free. It's a 9-week course. Like after each chapter, there are little homework assignments and stuff you do with it to kind of free your creative self. Like one of them is taking yourself on an artist date, which is like going to the movie by yourself, turning your phone off, watching the movie, going to an art gallery, buying paint, painting something, like just doing stuff that makes you happy and kind of working with your inner child and your inner creator. I think it's so easy for all of us to get kind of stuck in our ways of, of just like our routine. We wake up, we go to work. Some of you guys have kids. God bless you. It couldn't be me at this point in my life for sure. But you get so stuck in the routine of life.
Clip it for next year.
When I have a kid. Listen, like I said, all I do is get on this mic and contradict myself. So I'm sure I'll probably be pregnant. No, I won't. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to put that into the universe. But I'm sure, listen, at some point I might have a kid. But right now is not that point. All I was saying is that I admire people who do life and also have kids because I find doing life hard enough, But anyway, all that to say, we get stuck in a mundane routine. And in order to kind of break out of it, this book is... Mike, have you ever done The Artist's Way?
No, I live the artist life. Go to movies alone, do all this shit by yourself all day.
Okay. Well, I mean, I have done The Artist's Way a few times. And after I did it the first time, I wrote a book. I wrote my book. After I did it the second time, I wrote my movie. And then I'll let you know what happens after this time. I'll kill myself. Dun, da, 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 and 4. No, I'm just kidding. But there was a chapter in this, not a chapter. It's, there's something in the book that really stood out to me that I want to bring to your guys' attention. And it says, this is all from the book. So this is from The Artist's Way. You guys can read it yourself, but I'm just pulling some things that resonated with me. The essential element in nurturing our creativity lies in nurturing ourselves. Through self-nurturance, we nurture our inner connection with the great creator. Through this connection, our creativity will unfold. Paths will appear for us. We need to trust the great creator and move out in faith. Repeat, the great creator has gifted us with creativity. Our gift back is our use of it. Do not let friends squander your time. Be gentle but firm and hang tough. The best thing you can do for your friends is to be an example through your own recovery. Do not let their fears and second thoughts derail you. So this is talking about like when you're trying to be creative and friends or people in your life will kind of put their fears or their perception of being creative on you. They'll be like, oh, you can't you can't make money by writing a book. You can't make money by doing da 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 da. They'll try and tell you, and I think ultimately it's an act of preservation, and they're trying to, I think that they're trying to save you from yourself, to not feel embarrassed or a failure later. But I think a lot of us don't do what we're supposed to do because we're afraid. And I think honestly, like, fuck fear. If there's something you want to do, I think you should do it. Life is really fucking short, and being creative, the moments in my life when I've been genuinely creative have brought me the most joy. So I just want to encourage you guys to, if there's anything you want to do, if there's like when you were a kid, if you like to paint or if you like to act, or if there's anything that you did until, the adults told you like you need to grow up, I think we need to ungrow up. I think we all need to be kids again. I think we all need to play more. I think we all need to take care of ourselves a little better, because I think, the world is tough and it's grating. And I think there are a few things that can kind of let the pressure out of the tire a little bit. And I think one of those things is being creative. So if any of you have ever wanted to go on this journey of being a creative in any capacity, I really encourage you to get the book, The Artist's Way. It's really special. And then there's something in this book about crazy makers. And like I said, I've read this book 3 times before. This has resonated with me every single time I've read it, but this time especially so. So crazy makers are those personalities that create storm centers. They are often charismatic, frequently charming, highly inventive, and powerfully persuasive. And for a creative person in their vicinity, they are enormously destructive. You know the type: charismatic but out of control, long on problems and short on solutions. Crazy makers are the kind of people who can take over your whole life. To fixer-uppers, they are irresistible. So much to change, so many distractions. If you are involved with a crazy maker, you probably already know it. So I have had a pattern of attracting crazy makers into my life. And I think this pattern stems from the OG crazy maker that was my mom. And I've talked about this at length before. This is not a surprise to anyone. My mom had borderline personality disorder. She was the definition of a crazy maker. Like, she was the original gangster crazy maker. She never had a day of peace in her life.
She made one.
Huh?
She made one.
She made a crazy maker?
She made you.
You're saying I'm a crazy maker?
She made a crazy person because she's a crazy maker. It was a joke that flew. It missed. It missed. I'm sorry, everybody.
Okay. No.
Leave it to the pros.
No, you're great. I'm not firing on all cylinders today. I have a friend living with me right now who's going through a divorce, and she's wonderful and I love her. She has a big dog. But there's a lot going on in my apartment and my life. And so my brain is a little like fuzzy right now. So I'm sorry that I missed your joke, Mike. I will be better. No, but crazy makers, I've done this my whole life. I've always attracted crazy makers because of my mom. And I always wonder when I'm getting stuck in my professional life, especially creatively. I should be able to identify the pattern by now, that creatively when I'm getting nothing done, like I'll look at a year and be like, why has nothing gotten done this year? It's like, oh yeah, because I gave all of my attention to this situation outside of myself. Like I had a friend, a really good friend in college for a long time who was not borderline, bipolar. Actually bipolar, and actually one of the craziest people I've ever met in my life. Like, there was no stability within our friendship, and I was always trying to maintain some sort of like peace, or like, is this going to be predictable, and trying to like maneuver my way through this. And I always felt like I was walking on eggshells. And I've had a few of those friendships since then, and I think we're out of that portion of my life, I hope. But yeah, it's just something to be cognizant of and aware of. Like, people can come into your life and kind of hijack your energy, and then you no longer belong to yourself because you belong to the crazy storm that they're creating. And I've done this a lot. This is my fault. I think maybe it's a way to keep myself from myself and like my highest potential. I think it's a self-sabotaging habit that I have. But I look forward to not having that habit anymore, and to not welcoming any more crazy makers into my life. So I just feel, I don't know, I feel good. I feel excited. I don't know exactly what's coming up. I think my whole life, there isn't a ton of stability in my life, like not with my career. It's nice to feel grounded again in partnership. I don't know what's on the horizon for me, and I think that's kind of exciting. I just am gonna keep creating and putting stuff out and seeing, throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. Hang on, pause for water. I have a dry throat from my vape.
It's fine. I've been restraining from singing I'm Walking on Eggshells.
Woo! I'm Walking on Eggshells. Also, that's another great book you guys should read. I reached out to the author of Walking on Eggshells. She didn't get back to me. That's fine. I wanted to have her on the podcast, but I reread Walking on Eggshells recently, which is a book about dealing with people with borderline personality disorder and narcissistic personality disorder. It is a meaty fucking book. And I really encourage you guys, I'm like telling you guys to read. I'm like, welcome to my podcast. Go read books. No, it's a really meaty book about borderline personality disorder the traits of people with borderline personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, the traits of people with that and how they can overlap and what that looks like. And I remember the first time I read that book was the first time I felt like I wasn't alone, because I had no words, I had no language to put to my relationship with my mom. I didn't understand what was going on. I was her child, so I was in it. I didn't have not the hindsight, but I couldn't zoom out enough to look at things for like, okay, this is what this person is doing. These are symptoms of this personality disorder. I didn't have that language until I read this book. This book profoundly changed me. And if you guys are dealing with anyone with borderline personality disorder or narcissistic personality disorder, read this book. It will profoundly change you, because it tells you basically what you can do to help these people and when you have to protect yourself and step away and create boundaries. And I think it's really important to just not feel alone and feel a bit more empowered on your journey. And, dealing with these personalities is the toughest thing I've ever had to do in my life. It's something I've done more than once. And, I think that's a great book. And if I can, I might hunt down that author a little harder and try and get her on here. But if not, you guys should all go read it anyway. Okay. With that, we do have a guest on today's episode. But before we get into the guest, I'm going to bring back badvice and confession corner, which is kind of a new part of badvice. Like, I want you guys to be able to tell me the bad thing that you don't want to say out loud to your friends, to your family, to your therapist. Say it to me and let me ruin your life. No, just kidding. No, I want you to be able to speak freely to me if you guys want advice on anything. And like I said 1,000,000 times over, I am not a perfect person. I am not perfectly sober. I am not perfectly in a relationship. I am not perfectly anything ever. I will never be perfect, and I'm never going to pretend to be. That's the thing about me. All I know is that I know nothing at all. And all I can share is kind of what I've been through and my POV on things. So let's dive into badvice. My best friend is pregnant. I hate her husband. Oof, he's very controlling and not fun or nice or anything redeeming, really. I feel horrible, but I wish she wasn't having this baby. I feel like I lost her to him, and now I will fully lose her to the baby. Any advice on how to navigate this? You got to have a mental funeral for her. Every time one of my friends gets pregnant, I'm just like, rest in peace. Rest in peace. No, but like, truly, I think it's normal to mourn a time in your life when you guys both had lives that were more similar than not, and there's always going to be a time when that road forks and one of you goes one way and one of you goes another way. And it's heartbreaking, but it is really just the reality of growing up, is that people are going to continue to change and grow, and you have to give them space to do so. The other thing, you hate her husband, that fucking sucks. Like, I have been there before where I don't like a partner's husband or I don't like a best friend. Let me rephrase that. I have been there before where I don't like a friend's partner, but you just have to kind of just shut your mouth and let them make their decisions and respect them enough as a person to know that they're doing what they think is truly best for them. And if they're not willing to see that it's not, or if maybe they don't truly in their bones don't believe that it's not what's best for them, you just have to let people live their lives and make their mistakes and get through their first marriage. You got to just like let people fuck up. And it's so hard when you love someone so much to just let them kind of walk into the fire because you want to save them from it, because that's your best friend. That's your homie. And you don't want them to make those mistakes, but you have to let them make those mistakes. You have to let people pick the wrong partner. You got to just let people do what they're going to do. And then babies are tough because like that is like, on every single level, their life is about to change. Their priorities are going to shift. Like everything is going to be different from them. And your friendship is going to be like, if it was number 2 on the list before, it's going to be 20. Like it's not even fucking close. And that's why I say like, I'm joking, but I'm not joking. Like mental funerals for my friends with kids. Like when my friends, like I got pregnant, I'm like, oh, congratulations. I am so happy for you if that's what you wanted. Or Do you want me to drive you to the clinic? You know, what are we doing here? What's the vibe? I'm a little too old now for anyone to want to go to the clinic. They're like, yeah, no, we were trying. And I'm like, that's scary, spooky. But no, I think you got to just let people go. You gotta let people live their lives and trust that they will come back to you when the time is right. And, you know, it's okay to mourn. It's okay to mourn the piece of you that's losing your best friend, because you're not losing them. They're not, you know, dying. Even when they do die, you don't lose them. They're still right fucking here. But no, you're not really losing her. I think you might be losing a part of yourself. And it's hard. It's hard to watch friends kind of pivot, and especially pivot into a direction where you don't feel welcome and you don't want to hang out with their partner, and now there's a kid, and it's kind of a fucking mess, but like it's a mess you can get through. And I believe in you, and I'm sorry because I've been through this before where I'm like, oh, another one bites the dust, and another one goes, and another one goes, and another one bites the dust. Like when but then again, like Mike just said, eventually I might have a kid, and then I'll be that person going in that direction. So I think you got to just let people go on their own timelines into Dante's seventh circle of hell. Having kids does not seem fun. Honestly, it doesn't seem fun. I don't think is anyone doing it because it's fun? Maybe because it gives your life purpose, but
people who don't have fun.
Huh?
People who don't have fun already.
Have kids. Yeah, have kids. Yeah. I do things and they're tough enough, and I'm like, God, imagine if there was a fucking kid here.
Well, there's an era of people who used to like have a kid to save a marriage. Like,
right.
Doesn't that sound like the worst idea?
That's the worst idea. Okay. Numero dos. I'm 36. Hey, girl. Hey. Still unmarried, struggling dating, and ready to give up. Any advice? Give up. Give up. The second you give up is when he's going to come. You know, I was like, all last year, you fucking heard me. I was kikiing on here. I was like, I am intentionally dating and I want to find my partner. And then I was like, fuck this. This fucking sucks. I'm going to go to New York and have a one night stand with a young guy. And that's what I'm going to do. And that's where I met my man. I think there is an energy about wanting something too much. And this sucks because it's like, this is our life. Of course we want partnership. Of course we want, like, of course, aren't we allowed to want things? But it's like the 2 times that I decided definitively, I am done dating. I am not going to do this. Literally the 2 times I met a long-term partner after that. Like, I had a really bad breakup before I started dating Chris. I had a really bad breakup with this guy who, by the way, I knew the whole time I was in the relationship. I knew he was gay. He had a live-in roommate that would like wear his clothes and never, I mean, they were always together. And I was just like, there's something going on here, but whatever. I was drunk and on coke, so I didn't really fucking care. We were just partying. But I knew this man was gay, and he did some horrible thing to me. Oh, I remember. We were going to go out. So I was like, oh, I ran to your apartment and I dropped Biggie off. And he fucking lost his mind on me. He's like, you can't just drop Biggie off in my apartment whenever you want to. You're like crossing a boundary. And then I was like, okay, are we still meeting up? And then I didn't hear from him for like 2 days. And then I was like, okay, well, and then I just like dropped his shit off. And I was like, I'm done dating. This man's gay. I got to get the fuck out of here. And I was like, it's the year of Brittany. I moved 2 blocks away from the Hollywood Improv. I was like, I'm going to go do comedy every single night. Literally 2 weeks later, Chris and I started dating. So yeah, listen, every time I've made a decision. Oh, and by the way, that guy, this is just like a little vindication moment. He just got caught soliciting male prostitution and doing coke, and he had a big old job and he lost it. And he had a 24-year-old wife and a kid, and he lost that. And just another episode of Karma Doesn't Miss a Doorstep. I knew. And a bunch of people texted me about it. They're like, did you see? This happened. And I was like, haha, bitch. Ha ha. So anyway, no, I hear your frustration. I know 36 can feel old, but it's young. Like I sometimes joke that I'm old. I sometimes joke that I'm young. I don't know how I feel always, but it's like you are still young and someone is coming. Also, where do you live? Are you in your hometown? Have you gone through the whole dating pool? Like I need more information to give you bad advice and to give you the bad advice you're looking for. I get it. It's tough. Like like I said, I was ready for partnership and I was like trying to call it in, and I allowed some dating coach to tell me my profile was terrible and really hurt my feelings and like
that was a funny one.
Kind of be a fucking cunt about it. But yeah, like I allowed myself I was really trying to put myself out there. And then when I finally was like, fuck this, fuck all of this, I am actually going on Hinge just to have a one night stand. My intention changed. And like my point there is that I think the universe can feel it. And it's like the law of attraction, right? When you go too close to something, it pulls away. And so I was doing that. The vibes I was putting out were not the right vibes to attract what I was looking for. And then when I finally detached, Mr. Manhattan came along. And yeah. It's like the second meaningful partnership I've ever had in my entire life. Well, I know, Biggie. I'm sorry. It's the third. You're the first. Chris is the second. Mr. Manhattan is the third. Anyway, okay, so those two are bad bites. This one, I need to talk about it because it's so fucking crazy, but I don't know how to call this down. This girl wrote in, and it's really long. So I'm going to do my best here. I have a little tea for you. I'm freshly divorced. Actually, you know what? I'm going to just recap this because it's really, really long. Okay, so she's newly divorced. She found out her ex-husband was cheating on her with a trans woman. And that incited some homophobia in her. She's like, I've never been homophobic before, but all of a sudden I'm feeling things I've never felt before, and I don't know how to deal with these emotions. But it sounds like this man was just her husband. Her ex-husband was gaslighting. He was sending her nudes to other people without her permission. He was asking her to go on OnlyFans and to share her with other guys and like to do all this stuff that made her really uncomfortable. And then as an aside, she randomly also told me that they had 3 dogs and 2 cats, and one of the dogs ate one of the cats. And then he was supposed to rehome the dog, and instead of rehoming the dog, he shot the dog. And it was like, it's such a trauma dump.
Pretty criminal.
Huh?
It's pretty criminal.
Yeah, it's illegal. I don't know where she lives. She could be in the South or somewhere where that's not illegal. Is there anywhere where that's not illegal?
I don't like it. I don't want to Google it.
It's also like, whatever. We don't even care that you're shooting loads in a trans guy's ass. You can't shoot a load in a dog. Like you can't unload a clip in a dog. It's fucking crazy. Like that made me like jump. I do this man's transgressions in terms of his sexuality and his marriage takes such a fucking backseat to what he did to the dog. Like, this is a bad man. That is a bad fucking person. And listen, like, there are extreme cases where dogs do need to be put down. When I was in my first marriage, we had a bloodhound that bit people. Bit me in the face, bit another girl in the face, broke skin, bit my boss in the face, and literally her lip from right beneath her nose to the bottom of her lip was torn wide open. We had to call the ambulance. Any other person probably would have sued the fucking socks off of us. But that woman was so kind to not. But we did have to put that dog down. But you put the dog down. You don't take the dog into the yard and shoot it. Like, that is so inhumane and disgusting. And girl, I am just so sorry that you went through all of this. I haven't even addressed like the trans stuff because like I don't know how to. I don't have any advice. I have no idea how I would feel if my partner was cheating on me with men and trans women. And I just am sending you so much love. I feel so sad for you, but I also feel so happy for you that you got out of this situation because it sounds like you were married to a fucking dirtbag. And I'm just really happy that you got out because that's horrific and nobody should be going through what you're going through. yourself and your animals included. Okay, this episode, you guys, I am so excited to have one of my dear friends, Frankie Quiñones, on the podcast. He is an actor and a comedian and just one of the funniest, loveliest people I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. Please enjoy this episode of Talkin' Schmitt. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm here with all 14 of my hairs on my head thanks to Berber hair oil. I am so excited to have this sponsor for the Talkin' Schmitt podcast, you guys. Berber hair oil has transformed my journey, my hair regrowth journey. I do feel like my hair is coming back thicker and stronger than ever. I do this treatment twice a week, Berber hair oil. It's Murdoch oil, and you use a dermaplaner. So you open up the scalp and get all the oil in there, and then the oil strengthens your hair at the root and helps grow from the root. And listen, I did just read a study recently that you can rub an onion on your head and it'll do that, but like we don't want to run around smelling like armpits. This oil smells so good. It's so delicious. I love doing this treatment on my hair twice a week. Mr. Manhattan does little oil treatments too. He's on like a little hair regrowth journey. So, you can give your man a hair oil treatment if you want, or you can just do it yourself because honestly, your man probably doesn't deserve it. And neither does mine sometimes. I love Berber hair oil. Go on their site, grab some oil, grab a dermaplaner, grab their mermaid boar bristle brush because that will put your hair in the perfect slick back with this oil. And you can go out and run errands and it looks like you have your hair done. So it's amazing. Use the code Britt, BRITT, for 15% off your first order at Berber. Let me get my hair in front here. Berber.com. BURBUR.com. Use the code Britt for 15% off your first order. Your hairs will thank me. Okay, bye. You guys, I'm so excited about this sponsor. I will not shut the fuck up about bone broth because it has become such a staple in my everyday life. And I want it to become a staple in yours too because it's packed with nutrients and it's great for your gut health and your skin looks clearer and you just feel strong and good and you're filled with the good stuff, So I also really love the Fat Face moisturizer, the body oil, the body drench is amazing. I forgot to tell you guys about their granola. They have granola on the site. I eat this stuff every single morning. It's so good. They make it out of sourdough bread. There's a little chocolate in there. There's some berries in there. It is fucking bomb. Everything on their site is amazing. The bison bone broth is my fave. The bone jelly fucks. That's 20 grams of protein per cup. And then, like I said, the Fat Face, the body oil drench. There's a ton of really great stuff on their site. So go poke around their site and use the code BRITLOVES10, BRITTLUVS10 for 10% off your first order. That's BRITLOVES10, BRITTLUVS10 for 10% off your first order. There's a Brittany bundle on the site. You can just grab that, add that to your cart. Thank me later. The website is A Life on the Lamb, ALIFEONTHELAM.com. Go to alifeonthelamb.com. Use the code BRITLOVES10 for 10% off your first order. Your Uber driver, girl.
Yeah, kind of like salty vet, like woman. Yeah. She was cool, like
what's
little chubby,
like she was
like
in war.
Maybe in her late. She looked like she had been through some things. Her hair was tattered.
Okay.
But she was like, fucking kind of, I fucking Uber drive for extra shit. Like, whatever.
Do you see now Uber has, you can request a woman driver.
Oh, really?
It's for women, obviously. Like if you don't, because so many women are getting abused by Uber drivers, yeah.
Or Uber passengers?
Uber passengers are getting abused by Uber drivers. There's like a new thing going around where the Uber drivers are putting like drugs in the water and taking advantage of them. So Uber has a new thing now where
Holy shit.
Yeah, you can request a woman driver and then just get in a car accident instead.
Yeah, or hear about Christmas decorations getting taken out of storage. And that's the big plans for today.
Yeah.
Hey, women, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's a different kind of abuse.
Yeah. Dude, that's so funny. I didn't know they could do that.
Yeah.
I always felt like, well, they have all your shit. Uber has all your information, so why would fools act shady,
Right, but
it's happening, I guess.
It's happening.
I have one homie though. He this fool looks like Johnny Depp.
Is he single?
Any of my homies that hear me say this, they're gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, he's single, but he's kind of a nympho also. I won't say his name.
Okay. It's Johnny Depp.
I'm sure he's probably good at it. Yeah, but he looks like he's like, we'll go to like bars and like The last time I was with him, like we're at this bar, and one of the girls at work there just walked up to him and slipped him a piece of paper, like her number.
Yeah.
Like I never see that happen, you know. And he's just like, oh, yeah. And he's just all stoned in the corner, like, oh yeah, you know. But he was Uber driving, and this, I think it was a couple actually, or maybe it was. He's had sexual encounters with multiple passengers. Mm-hmm. Just like they invite him in, and then they end up fucking, and then there was one that was a couple, and the dude was like. Was it cuckolding when he just wanted to watch?
Yeah.
Dude, crazy, homie.
That's a
like
thing.
right there, like right when they gave the ride. It wasn't like hit me up later. It was let's plan it out. It's like
come in now.
Yeah. Like, hey, what are you doing?
So that's a good gig for him.
Yeah.
He's getting.
And then it was like my homie was like, told him, he's like, dude, I thought you were like, because you know he would hook up with like really hot chicks, but then also like just down for whatever. Mm-hmm. And he had a threesome with like these two like big homegirls, and you respected it at the same time. Like, wow, you're like, you know, you're willing to share with whoever.
Share the wealth.
And my homie was like, I thought you were like a player, but now I realize you're a nymphomaniac.
Yeah. No, I realize like, this is diagnosable.
Like,
This is a little less cool. A little
but
more.
you know, it's also like, all right, cool. Like, you know, that was cool for those big homegirls.
Yeah.
You know,
listen, big girls need love too.
Yeah, they do.
What have you been up to?
Homie, just, you know, I just got back from Montreal.
Yeah.
And then
what were you doing?
I know
there?
you're probably like when I got that text from you, you're like, fucking this motherfucker is probably gonna cancel on me, like Montreal. But I was like, no, I'll be back tomorrow. But
what were you doing up
there? I showed up fucking 37 minutes late.
That's right. It was 41 minutes late. That's all right.
I was like, I owe you steak dinner or whatever. I'll take care of the homie right here.
You're
whatever.
Good. You're good. You're running on brown time.
All right, cool.
I told Mike 12:30. I told you 12.
Really?
No.
Oh fuck. I was like, fuck, dude. Yeah.
What were you?
But yeah, was that?
What were you doing up there?
There's that show DMV. It's like a new show. So funny. It's the East Hollywood DMV, but they shoot in Montreal, Canada.
Of course.
I mean, you know, that's the name of the game.
Oh wait, that show got picked up.
Yeah, it's already airing. It's like,
has it been going on?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, never mind. I thought this was a new show. Weren't you shooting a pilot for a new show? Or wasn't that?
No, that didn't get picked up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was in that was the Native American Community Center in Oakland that was shot in Portland.
Right. Right.
But
you guys, Hollywood isn't real.
Yeah.
I hate to burst your bubble.
Yeah. It's not what it used to be. It's all in Canada now, in Portland and Atlanta.
Yeah. You grew up in LA though, right?
Yeah, and there. Well, you know, I lived in LA, so I was like, I was still pretty young, and then we moved to Ventura County.
Okay.
And then I lived in the Bay for like 10 years. That's where I started doing stand up.
Oh.
Then I moved back to LA in 2013, I think. Yeah. Okay. About 2013, I moved back to LA.
I didn't realize you started in the Bay.
Yeah, I know everybody. So I was like, everybody from LA was like, thought, I was like the Mexican comic from the Bay.
Yeah.
But I was really from LA, but I started doing stand up there.
Right.
I was already living up there for like 4 or 5 years, and then I started hitting the open mic circuit.
Hitting the mics, and what made you get into comedy? Yeah. And what was the trauma that triggered that?
Yeah, whatever. Physical abuse, sexual abuse.
Yeah.
It is. They went through the ringer on me.
The huge.
But my mom and dad were diehard stand up fans,
Yeah.
Like when they were dating, they would go to the Comedy Store, Laugh Factory, Hollywood Improv.
Did they come to your shows?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I bet they love that.
Yeah.
My dad could give a fuck about comedy. He doesn't care at all. And then he watches mine and he's like, eh.
Yeah, really?
Yeah. He's like,
he seems so supportive in the photos I see of him.
He is, but he's like, I would think it was funny if I weren't your dad. Like, he's like, I don't want to hear about an NBA, an NBA player peeing in your mouth. That. Like, that's not.
Yeah, because you go hard. Yeah. Funny as fuck though, but
that's not my dream.
I love that. Like, you're late. I'm like, ooh, shit. Yeah. Yeah, for a father. Yeah. I mean, it's tough for my dad to see some of the shit I do too. So yeah. But he's like, all right, it's funny though.
Yeah, it is. And that's all that matters. This last special, I named it "Sorry, Dad."
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. And then he was there the whole time. I couldn't make eye contact with him. I was like, "No, don't look. I can't do it."
Did you get any shots of him in the audience?
Yeah. So we actually had a dad cam on him. So while I'm like talking about giving people chlamydia, he's like, he's just sitting there like,
that's my daughter, my princess.
Yeah. Yeah. Common street trash.
Hell yeah, I love it.
Girl, that's my baby.
So proud of her.
Oh my God. I love you. Thank you for being here.
Nah, well, you know I love
dog.
you too. Yeah.
You're the fucking dog. It's funny because I never ran into you in comedy. I found you.
I know. I mean, I knew who you were, and then and then we met, and then you called me in, and we had like a really deep, connective conversation.
Yeah.
And after that conversation, I was like, all right, that's the homie. You
Yeah.
know?
All right. Well,
then,
we're riding in this.
Yeah.
We're in this bitch now.
Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I
pretty
mean,
cool.
you came and you shared some really poignant stuff, some very vulnerable stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, it was funny because I was like, I would like hold, suppress all that stuff my whole life. And then finally I got to a point and I was like, I got all out. And then I was like, all right, pull back now.
Yeah.
You know, that first part,
Yeah.
you're just like, oh, fuck, I went through crazy shit. And they're like, all right, homie, like, calm down. Like,
Yeah. You got to get it out. The floodgates
yeah.
got to open,
Yeah,
Because I think
yeah.
the reality is, do you mind me saying where we met?
No, I don't mind.
Okay, so we met in the rooms of AA.
Yeah.
And I think the reality of addiction is that, like, we drink and use because of the circumstances of our lives. You're drinking and using at that demon. And if you never let that demon out, it just grows bigger and bigger, and then it starts to control you, and then it kills you.
Yep.
So it's like, I feel like you were in a position where you were finally getting honest about some abuse that had happened to you in your life. And it did kind of all just like pour out, but it needed to. Didn't it feel good when you finally said it?
It did. That definitely, I agree 1,000% that needed to happen for
Yeah.
sure. And the support that I found from people. And then that phone call that you gave me was like, especially at that time, was like, I really needed that,
Yeah.
And I was just like, just hearing your story, like in an intimate way, I was like, it just, I was just like, had so much respect for it, and I just related to it so hard. And I was just like, damn, homie.
Yeah.
Like, if I would have never known that about you, like if I,
Well, right.
and then you were like offering help or just offering to be a friend to me. And I was just, on that level too, which is like crazy because a lot of people don't understand that or can't relate to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I think, I don't have any direct experience with what you went through, but my mom, my mom was abused, and it's like the ripple effect of abuse within family systems is so dangerous and so not talked about. I think there's so much shame around it. And then also within family systems, people often protect abusers. And I think there's just a lot of shame around even bringing light to it. So I was so proud of you that you were able to kind of look at that wound for the first time and, maybe realize that was the genesis of the addiction. And I think since you've been more open about it, both with yourself in the rooms, with your friends, with whoever, the healing started happening.
Yeah.
Like you're a different person now than the Frankie I met over a year ago.
Oh yeah, homie.
Like,
whew, I was a hot mess when
you were hitting
met me,
the skids, babe. You come into the room shake.
Dude, homie. I kept relapsing, and I was just like trying to get a hold of it.
Yeah, but you've got some time now.
Yeah, a year next month. Crazy,
Frankie.
homie. I know. Not even.
Should we burn down a building?
Not even a weed gummy. Yeah, let's burn some shit down, homie.
Relapse?
Bring out the butt plugs.
Yeah. And that's what I've been saying. That's what this whole show is about. Bring out the motherfucking butt plugs.
Oh, hell yeah, homie.
Hell yeah. What was do you want to talk about the darkness? Do you want to talk about the
I don't give
addiction?
a fuck. I mean, it's out there,
Everyone has a different experience with their recovery and what they went through and what they're willing to talk about. So if there's anything I say that you want to cut out, we can. But like,
nah, I mean, I said a lot. I got pretty vulnerable on my special, so
which by the way,
oh, thank you.
Fucking like, I can't watch stand-up specials because we do this all the time. I watched yours start to finish in one sit. I was like,
yes.
I was like, that's my fucking dog. That's my dog.
Yeah, that's what's up. I appreciate
you're just
that,
so
Brittany.
lovable on stage. You're such a like bright light, and and I just was like, that's my fucking
thank you for
dog.
saying that. I know, like I was pumped. Like the Decider did like a review on it, and they mentioned that they're like, you could see that he's like reached a point of like it's coming through the screen, like that he's healed and he's happier now.
Yeah,
that he got through something.
And
I was like, oh shit, that's crazy that you could sense that. Like,
You could sense that, and I could also so sense that you were excited to be there.
Yeah, yeah.
That you were like, it was a moment for you. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like you were like stepping into something new. Whereas like, you know, you can see sometimes comics, like I watch myself back and I'm like, does she hate herself in every joke she's saying? Because I sit there and I'm like,
Dude,
oh,
I
no,
fucking hate watching myself. Yeah,
I
yeah.
hate watching myself back, but when I watched you, I felt like the joy and the excitement of just being there.
Yeah.
And that was so special because I think you don't see that with a lot of comics. There's like just this ultimate composure that can come off as like you watch Jesselnick or someone like that who's a genius and he's brilliant, but it's just like, are you enjoying yourself? You know? Like,
all right, next joke.
yeah. So anyway, spoiler alert:
He's
a
funny
kid
as fuck,
dies.
though. I love Anthony. Yeah, yeah.
He's fucking. He was like when I started stand up, I was like he was someone that I very much looked up to.
Yeah.
And I think he's a brilliant writer and performer. But I'm just saying, there's like a lack of connection, and I felt like you were so connected to the audience and to yourself in that moment. And I think probably being sober for that was a huge part of it.
Yeah. Honestly, that was one of my markers of, you know, because it was like January 15 was the last. I had a mezcal on the rocks that morning to take the edge off.
You always remember
from,
the
like,
last drink.
Oh yeah, homie. I felt it. I was like, I think this
Mine
is
was
it.
a fucking mimosa.
Yeah.
What a bitch.
Fucking mimosa.
What a bitch. But it was because I was hungover. You know, I was hungover.
That's what.
And I was
why
like,
my
I'm going to
mezcal on
change
the
my
rocks was.
life.
Yeah, yeah.
After this mimosa.
And you did though.
I did.
That's crazy.
I did, yeah.
Man, I was like, fuck him. I'm gonna go out with a
fucking-
bang, bitch.
Let them know who's bottomless.
Heavy on the
in this-
champagne, fucker.
Yeah, I'll show you bottomless, bitch. 14 bottles of fucking champagne later, they're like, all right, the bottomless thing is over. It's Monday. The bottomless mimosas are for Sunday.
If I saw you, like, if I just saw that, I'd be like, cool, another white girl having a mimosa, and then like not knowing all the layers that actually come with it.
Ma'am, we've been serving you orange juice for the past 2 hours.
And I'm like, it's fine. I'm doing Molly. I'm putting Molly in it. It's fine.
I love Somali. Yeah.
So a mezcal on the rocks. That was your last drink.
Yeah, after, you know, I had partied the days
Yeah,
before though,
yeah.
so it was just like that last. And
But January 15th, and then when did you film the special?
when was it?
February
I want to
something.
say
right?
no. It was later. It was like I want to say June.
Okay.
June or July.
Oh, okay. So you had some time. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I set up a marker. I was like, yo, just stay sober until you record the special.
Right.
But then, you know, I started working the program, doing the thing, and then once I made it to the special, and I had even had homies hit me up like, "Hey, you're gonna party now?" And then it was like, not that they wanted me to go off the rails or nothing, but because they heard me say that, like, "Yo, I'm gonna party after I record the special."
Yeah.
But then I was like, "No way, I don't want to go back," you know, to that.
Right.
I mean, I was a hot mess, homie. You know.
Yeah, and it's also like it's such a funny thing as alcoholics. We do this reasoning with ourselves, like I'm gonna get to this milestone, and then I'm gonna burn it to the fucking ground.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna get this fucking awesome thing that I've been working my whole life for, and then I'm gonna burn it to the ground.
It helps. In the beginning, that's what helped me because the cravings are so strong.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just want to get a head change. I want to fucking take a shot, do a line, pop up, like do ecstasy.
Yeah.
Like fucking whatever,
Yeah.
homie. You're just, you know, you want it. So then you have to like fucking, no, don't do it.
Yeah.
But I'd always tell myself like, hey, tomorrow, homie, I promise you, we're going to get a fucking bottle of tequila. We're going to get some mollies.
Yeah.
It's going to be sick
Yeah.
tomorrow. I promise.
you had the
and then I would
bloodlust.
just do that again the next day.
Yeah.
I promise you tomorrow, homie.
Yeah.
And then eventually, you know,
And
it
then
got better. You're
eventually,
like, no, shit. I don't need that. I can be high on life.
Everything's so much better now. You come in the door, smoke's blowing out of your ears. You're like, I got in a fucking car accident.
Dude, yeah. I just, you know, you still think about it, obviously. I love to party, but yeah, just
But the
that
party
train
was
left,
really,
you know, it's just like, oh, it got so
got
bad.
dark.
Getting wheeled out of the fucking Andaz, the hotel next door to the comedy store, was just like, fuck, homie.
Yeah.
That was definitely
What was
like-
that? A 3-day bender?
Yeah, I started. So I remember I was filming like the second season of this fool. And then I went to Jersey to do this Walking Dead spinoff, and then I went to Toronto to do What We Do in the Shadows, and then I went to Austin to do some shows. Then I went to Vegas, took my mom and dad. We went to see Santana, and then I flew them home. I kept extending my stay there, and then fucking get the EMTs called on me at the Vegas airport, and fucking
How did that happen?
So I hadn't slept in like a while, and then I was like, fuck, I gotta get home. I extended as much as I could.
Yeah.
So I take a Xanax bar to chill myself out, you know, for the
Fatal
flight.
flaw.
And I made it to the
45-minute
airport.
flight.
I made it through security, everything. And I was like, oh, I need to eat something. Let me go to Jimmy John's. I'm already at my terminal. And I get to Jimmy John's and I just started falling out, bro. I black out, you know, I don't even remember. I guess I was like falling on this lady next to me. And I had like a bag of like munchies, that like combo bag of chips. Yeah. Like it has like Sun chips and like pretzels and other shit in there. And I guess like my AirPods fell into the bag and I'm trying to eat my AirPods and I'm just like, and I remember the security, they have like these undercover dudes at the airport. They just wear like polo shirts. So they're not like strapped up all security vibes. They're like undercover. And I remember seeing the guy sit across from me and he's just looking at me and it's like a little black polo. And I recognize those dudes. I'm like, fuck, homie, this ain't good, you know? But I was fucking, I don't remember they call the EMTs on me. They come and fucking put the lights in my eyes. They check my vitals. They're like, all right, like, you know, he's okay. But like, he's like, you know, we're going to come back and check on him a little bit. But we have like 4 other situations because it was the weekend of EDC. Oh. I didn't go to EDC, but I guess their full shit was popping off, like medical wise.
Yeah. No, everyone's overdosing at EDC.
So they put me on the no-fly list, all this shit, right?
Oh, no.
And I wake up, homie, and I had slept, I guess, for like a couple hours. And I go and use the restroom, and I come back, and I realize everything that happened. And then these dudes from Texas, they recognized me, like, hey, bro, you good? And I was like, yo, like, they're like, yeah, homie, fucking the EMTs were here. We caught this couple trying to film you, like they knew who you were, and we fucking checked them, homie. We're like, hey, what the fuck? And they're like, oh, sorry, and like fucking assholes, you know?
Yeah, you're like, can I have a private moment in the Vegas airport to overdose?
In this public airport? Like, what the fuck, homie? Yeah.
Can I get barred the fuck out? I thought this was America. I thought this was a free country.
Yeah, what the fuck is this? So I was like, all right, I thank these guys, you know, but I went to the restroom, I came back, and I really just needed some sleep.
Yeah.
And then I was fine, and I was talking like this, or that's how I felt I was. And I go find this like supervisor lady that put me on the no-fly list, and she's like, I talked to her just for a little bit. She's like, I can't believe I'm talking to the same person from a couple hours ago. I was like, I just needed some sleep.
Yeah.
I was like, I had been working a lot, but also, you know, I was raging. I was like, look, I have been working a lot. I've been partying in Vegas. I just needed some sleep. She's like, fuck, all right, you look good. And she put me back on the fly list, printed out my tickets. I go to Burbank Airport, and my bags were already there because I checked my bags, and there's drugs in there still that I was still had
obviously.
left.
The party was still going.
I go to my condo and I started partying. I couldn't stop. I was on a train that just like my body was like, keep it coming, keep it going in. And then so I sober up, and then like that weekend I had some sets at the Laugh Factory in the Comedy Store, and then after it was a Saturday night, I was like, fuck, I'm gonna get a suite, homie, at the Andas, you know, just fucking. And then I get a suite, like the fucking balcony. I think I'm the guy and shit. Yeah. And then I just keep extending. Same thing from Saturday night. And then I get like paranoid with these people that are in there, even though they weren't up to no good. I was just like, hey, everybody get out, you know, like not all aggressive, but I was like, hey, you know, I got a jam soon. And so then I was just solo. And I remember thinking like, fuck, the homies are right there in the parking lot next door at the comedy store. Yeah. Like I could just tell them like, yo, come over here. Like I need help or something. But I was like, fuck it, you know? And then I remember like finishing like the drugs and then being like, you know, getting all emo about it. Like, this is probably it. I'm probably not going to wake up, you know, take my Xanax bars, wash it down with a bottle of Crown Royal, get all emotional. I was like, hey, this is probably not going to wake up. Like, sorry everybody. Thank God for my time on earth. Like, you know. And then, dude, I guess I was supposed to check out, you know, that Tuesday, and they go in there and I don't know, they probably thought I was dead. Like I guess my head was against a headboard. I'm just wearing a robe, like my dick's all out, and that was pretty embarrassing because I'm a grower, so it's probably like a little all drugged out, like tucked in, like just you know.
You got an itty.
Yeah, I got an itty and shit. And they're like, hey, and I wake up and they're like, yo, you know, the paramedics are here and da-da-da. And I was like, what? I was like, no. Like, it took me a little while to realize, like, oh, fuck, I woke up. Like, I'm still here. And I didn't see it as, like, an attempt to, like, in my life. I just was like, I've partied myself to the end, you know, like, this is it. And then, and they were like, I was like, no, I'm okay. And they're like, nah, man, we're here. We got to take you and da-da-da. So, you know, I was like, all right, you know, I got to get my shit together. But I get out of the hospital, go home, and 2 hours later, I'm partying again. And then that's when my sister was like, finally got a hold of me. Dude, her and Chris Estrada were in the lobby of that hotel trying to get up to my room. Mm-hmm. But they're like, we can't let you up. He has to let you up. Like, the only thing you do is call the cops. And Estrada told my sister, like, yo, I'm not trying to get this fool arrested. At least we know where he is. Yeah. And just like, fuck, man. And my sister had a baby at the house. Like, I put him through it, man, my family. And it just like, And, you know, you're not doing it intentionally. You think you're just doing it to yourself because you're such in a cloud and a fucking tunnel of just like, you know, with all the drugs. You're like, this is it. This is the path God laid out for me. This is how I'm going to die. Like, you get all fucking selfish like that. But yeah.
mean, yeah, I always thought when I was growing up, I was like, I won't see 30. That was never the plan.
Right.
I didn't think I would. I just was like, I know I'm going to party as hard as I can until I die. And that was the plan. Yeah. That was like the whole plan. The fact that I have to still be alive. You know, like
bottomless Molly mimosas until
like most girls are like, by this age, I'm gonna have a husband and kids and a
car
that was never
and a
house.
plan,
and I was like, I'll have a casket and I'll be in that bitch. Like that was the whole plan. So getting sober really threw a fucking wrench in everything because I'm just like, well, now I gotta be alive. I guess.
No, but you're better sober for sure.
Yeah. No.
Now I gotta be alive, I guess.
Now I gotta just stay in this bitch.
Dude. Yeah, the I remember the first 4 or 5 because you know my sister wrote me a letter of like how it would play out for each family member if I died. Right after this time, she finally got a hold of me. She's like, "Motherfucker, you promised me you're gonna get help."
Yeah.
Like for me, if anything, I'm like, "Okay, yes, 1000% agreed." I was like, "All right, I'll do it." And then she wrote me a letter of how it would play out if I died for each family member, and that's when like she tapped into something that was like, I'm like, you know, the lights came on. I was like, "Oh, this ain't just about me. I'm affecting all these people around me." You know what I mean? And they're just like, "Fuck, homie."
Yeah.
And then it just became like, all right, how do I get away from this shit? Because, you know, we're sick. Like, people don't realize, like, that aren't addicts. Like, there's a fucking part of our brain that is like, you need these chemicals in your body right now. And you're like, that's how your brain's been wired. Yeah. You know, because you're escaping whatever trauma.
Yeah, you need to get away from yourself.
Yeah.
Because you can't be in here with everything that's happened.
Yeah, homie.
You
So
know?
it was just like, fuck.
Yeah.
But I remember the first 4 or 5 days I was at rehab, I was just like, fuck, I could have just got it. Because it was expensive. Yeah. And I was like, fuck, I could have got it. Airbnb in Joshua Tree and lock myself up in there, you know, But then I started doing.
And I could have been there with Molly Mimosas. Yeah. It could have been.
You're gonna be fine, Frankie. You're gonna be good.
Just take a couple of these pills. Yeah. And then after these pills start to freak you out, take a couple of these pills.
Dude, I was like, I'm glad we didn't party together. We probably would have been like,
we'd be dead.
Oof. Yeah, because that was my jam too. Like just, you know, Molly's and isolation and just like, I was just like,
Yeah.
I wasn't doing anything that exciting. Yeah.
No, I mean, that's the thing. At the end of the day, it's like the party's fun. You know, when you're younger, it's fucking fun and it's an escape. And then as you age and continue to do it and your body gets more tired, it's like not that fun. Yeah. It's like pretty fucking dark. And you're like smoking a cigarette, watching the sun come up and you're like, is this my life?
Yeah.
Like, is this everything? Like, that's not what anyone intended. I'm not supposed to be smoking a cigarette with this homeless person. Yeah. Right now.
Dude, I put myself around some shady characters. I'll be
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah.
It's funny to think about, but I'm so happy you are almost at a year and you're on the fucking other side. It does seem like, listen, it's one day at a time and anything could change. God willing, I'll make it a year. Yeah. But I'm happy for you. Do you think that when you got more success and more money, it got worse?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It put my shit on steroids, especially when the pandemic hit, you know. Yeah. Because work would kind of keep me, you know, be able to manage my, you know, benders and stuff like that. And then people knew that I partied, but even to this day, they're like, I don't think you're that bad because I did the worst of it in isolation, you know, just. Yeah. And, but, you know, if I didn't have any money, I wouldn't party. I never got, you know, I've tried meth, heroin, all that, and it never got me. It was like, so I was never like stealing out of my grandma's purse or nothing like that. Like if I didn't have money to party, then I would only party as much as I could afford. Yeah. So like, you know, I was 35 sleeping on my homie's couch, chasing this stand-up dream. So like I wasn't gonna, you know, but I would still party like when I could. My whole thing was once a month. That was my, like whatever, my, you know, present method or fucking whatever of presence myself, and it would be very calculated. I'm like, oh, it's been 30 days, you know. Then I would like find an event or like a DJ, and then find some homies kick it, and then I would get my pills or whatever, get my Xanax for the landing gear when I was done, and I would go on a bender like once a month, and then I would very calculated. I had to do it every 30 days. And I'd be like, all right, that's my stress release, and I was able to step away though. But then it started getting into the, you know, weekdays and all that. And then when I started making money and had idle time, it was just like, it's probably like I didn't owe anybody no money, homie. I'm paying my bills. It's like, what's up? You can't tell me shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna get fucked up, homie. You know, like I earned this shit. You know, and then it just during the pandemic, I turned into a lab rat. You know? Just fucking oof. Ugh, God, just like a little creature. Like, I remember one time I was so strung out. Sorry, I'm probably rambling on. Shit,
I love it.
I had been up for days. This is during the pandemic, and I was like all paranoid and shit. And I heard I have like a little front gate that goes into the front porch area. Like, you know, each of our units has that. And I heard that gate click and then open. And I'm like, fuck, homie. They called the cops on me. It's probably like, they're here. It's over.
They're coming to take me
either
away.
My neighbors call the cops or maybe my family or something. They're going to come. I got all these drugs here. Like, it's over. They're going to come in here. Like, just my mind just went there like that.
Yeah.
I'm like crawling on my living room floor so they don't like see me or my shadows. Just like tweaked out. And I'm like crawling like Navy SEAL style. Like you can see me, you know, like a little creature, homie, on my own living room floor. And it was somebody going to the gate, but it ended up being the gardener, you know. And I'm like, fuck, homie, it wasn't the SWAT team, it was fucking a gardener.
You invite him in to party with you. Yeah.
Hola. I'm like, hey, don't blow my cocaine away with that blower, homie. But yeah, it was fucking, dude, the shit that you know that I did on drugs is so wild.
But I'm also impressed that you were able to maintain like your career. Yeah,
I know. That's why a lot of people are like, you know, there was a period where it was like I'd be out in public and people are like, hey, congratulations, you're killing it. And in my head, I'd be like, dude, I'm dying, homie.
Yeah.
You know, I need help. I was like spinning out of control. But it's like I said, I did a good job of like doing it in isolation, you know. Like I would be fucked up in public, but when I would really go overboard was just being alone, you know.
Yeah, I mean, but that's the juxtaposition that fucks you up. Like when everything looks great on the outside and then on the inside you're fucking dying.
Oh yeah.
Like you can't. There's no other explanation for it than addiction. You know what I mean? Because it's like on paper you're making money, you're on TV, you're selling out comedy clubs, you're doing X, Y, and Z, you're living your dreams, and then you're just dead inside.
And you feel like you can't express that or like you don't want to like complain to other people, especially other comics that are trying to make it in this game, and you don't want to be like, but I hate my life right now, you know. And like, but I am selling out comedy clubs, and you know, it's like,
but someone diddled me.
Because we're like, you know, because we're contract workers, so once I fulfill that contract or do my weekend at a club or film a show, once I'm done, it's like, all right, you know, now I got a little window of time. Like if I had like 3-4 days, especially like touring, you know, you get home on Monday from the weekend, then you know you're good until like Wednesday, Thursday. It was always like those Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday started getting worse and worse for me, you know. Like, it was like, ugh. Yeah. Whew, boy, what a shit show, homie.
Yeah. Truly. But you're on the fucking other side, dog.
Yeah, thank God. I was like, because I was like, thank God I was like, it was starting to definitely affect my work, but the worst came of it in the pandemic when there, you know, I was doing just like mostly a lot of voiceover work and stuff like that, stuff that was keeping me afloat. And then, you know, but you could wear a mask and like hide your fucking you know, like party face
under there, like,
like, all right, cool. What do you want me to say? Oh God,
you just have cocaine in the mask. You're like, fuck COVID.
Oh my God, bro. Yeah. I remember one time I was like, they had like a COVID test like scheduled for me for like an upcoming project, and I was like, I totally forgot about it, and I had been up all night, I hadn't slept, doing lines and shit. And then I got the text like, "Hey, reminder, your COVID test today." And
you
I'm
just
like,
have a brick of coke in your nose.
And I'm just like,
they have to go up there to swab.
So I like take a shower, I do another line, I try to blow my nose as much as I can, and then I gotta go to the studio lot. Yeah. And I take an Uber, obviously, and I'm just like, I'm like a lobster in the backseat of the Uber, like, you know. And I show up on me, and there's like a line, you know, and they're like, "Hey, Frankie, but you got the mask, and then you got to pull it down." And homie, the dude doing the COVID test, he like gets in there and he pulls out this fucking like glob of fucking party mucus, like fucking, oh, it was like red and it was like kind of bloody and slimy, and he just like, oh, all right, and he just puts it in the thing, and I was like, all right,
you're
cool.
like, give me that.
So I was like,
you got it.
But I was like, oh yeah, you know, I got a little cold, but hey, positive vibes, you know. And
you're
just
sweating, like fucking Shaq at the foul line. You just
but I passed the test. So I was like COVID free over here.
I don't have COVID. I have all the other problems. I have other illnesses.
It's so nasty, dude.
Oh my God. I feel like for as successful as you are, you're one of the most humble people I know. Like,
a lot of people tell me that, but like, thank you for saying that. But yeah, I don't know. Definitely my mom and dad instilled that in me, but
because they're like, you ain't shit.
But yeah.
Like, just don't
my
forget.
mom definitely still talks shit to me, like, you ain't shit, homie. Don't think you're this and that. I'm like, nah, I don't mind. But
my dad always says, humble yourself before God does it for you.
Right.
That's it is like
saying.
You got to live with a healthy amount of fear, but you go to the next level. Like we had a lunch maybe 6 months ago, whatever it was, and I was like, how are you, what's going on, like how have you been, we fucking caught up for an hour and a half. Great lunch. I go on Instagram and I saw that the night before you were hosting the Emmys, and I was like, this fool didn't even fucking tell me.
I just presented some awards. I didn't host
whatever.
it.
Presented, but still, that slipped the ketchup, and I was like, that would have been the first and only thing I talked about for the entire lunch.
So guess what I did last night?
What I did that you definitely didn't do.
I don't know. I've never been like that. And I don't knock anybody who is proud of, their accomplishments and constantly announcing it and stuff like that. But I'm just like, people see it. I did it. So I don't know.
I know, but I'm your friend, and you could have also been like, hey.
All right. Now I'm going to call you like, guess what I did last night, bitch?
Guess how much money I have and you don't.
But I was nervous as hell to do that. Woof. That was crazy.
I mean, you did great, but you did it as Creeper.
Yeah. Creeper. That was dope that they asked me to, like, because they switched it up like the day before. They were like, yo, would he be willing to do it as Creeper? They asked my manager or whatever. And I was like, what, homie? I was like, dude, I was like, hell yeah. And they're the ones that got me like they had those made, like the black tank top that Creeper is, but with a tuxedo print on it. Like the Emmy producers had that made. So I was like, dude, sick, homie. Yeah. And so it helped out, but I was so nervous because I thought I was going to have like, staging time or time of the green. They told me it was going to be a little while. So I thought, okay, you know how they do sometimes. They call you in and you end up waiting like a couple hours. Yeah. But showing up and being on the red carpet, I was like, oh shit, how's this going to go? But like mad people, even white people were like, hey, we love your work. And they're like in gowns and shit and like tuxedos. And I'm just in my cutoff sweats like, hey, thank you, homie.
My manager is obsessed with you. And Creeper, he couldn't stop talking about it during our meeting.
That's what's up, homie.
He's like, I love Creeper. I'm like, okay, we get it. But
I think I told your manager, hey, I'll wear my cutoff sweats next time, homie.
But where did Creeper come from?
Yeah, my dad, first and foremost, he was like, my dad was always like Chuck Taylor's, Dickies, especially when I was younger. Low rider car club guy. Just like, he had the, he used to have a 65 Impala with the little chain steering wheel. And then his best friend, my Nino John, my godfather, he baptized me. He was president of this car club called Viejitos Car Club for like 33 years. Mm-hmm. So I was always around like the positive side of the culture. And my dad's like one of the most positive people you know, especially as he got older, he kind of softened up. And but even when I was younger, he'd just be like, he'd be driving me to Little League practice in his lowrider, like, hey, mijo, work hard, but treat people with respect and da-da-da. And I was like, all right, that's what's up. So, he came. My dad's not a fitness instructor, but I use that to tap into the thing. But Creeper was just an extension of that. Some influences from other family members, cousins, and stuff like that. Because he is a kind of like a over the top character, but he's still very grounded at the same time. Like a lot of people, especially from my community, like know a Creeper. Like, oh, that's like so and so or whatever. Yeah. So I didn't expect it to like blow up how it did, but I remember when we made that first Cholo Fit video, most of it was improv. And we thought it was funny, but I didn't know. And it was literally like, we put it out and the whole thing happened. Like I wake up the next day, dude, I had messages from Thailand and Australia and Canada and all these places, all just like, what the hell? Fuck? Yeah. I was like, even people that didn't know what a Cholo was, they still gravitated towards Creeper for whatever reason. Mm-hmm. So then it was like,
just very lovable.
Then I started touring. And then it was
Frankie.
Like,
it's just you, Frankie. You're so sweet.
Oh, that's what's up. But that was dope. And it was changed everything for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was
Creeper.
cool.
But for those of you listening who aren't familiar with Creeper, go check out Frankie's Instagram page. He's got all sorts of little videos of his little
Cholo
Creeper.
fit, homie, get on the program.
Cholo.
Yeah. That's what's up.
How are you feeling after the Hulu special?
Good. Yeah.
Lots of good feedback.
Yeah, it was good. Well, because you know how, I mean, you just did one.
Yeah.
It's just like, you know, the crazy thing, and you know, me and Ali were talking about that. It was like, the crazy thing about filming a special is, it's like you set the date, you know, and you're gonna have the production there that day and or whatever weekend or whatever. For us, it was just that one night we did 2 shows, and like, you know how stand up is, like sometimes you're having a good week, sometimes you're having a mediocre week, sometimes you're in the zone on stage, sometimes you're like, you know, it's just that ride, homie. Yeah. That's why you got to respect it. Sometimes the stars don't align, and you know, you're doing the same jokes that crushed 2 days before or whatever the case is, and so you just hope that you're having a good week that week or a good day on the stage that day, because you're gonna shoot it that day. There's no moving it because you're having an off week.
Right.
So it's almost like catching lightning in a bottle. Like, you know, you just hope you're feeling good. And you know, and I was like doing all my work, being on point with everything, and my family flew up to Portland, everything. I flew my sponsor up there with me. I was just like feeling good, you know. And you know, and you get to that place, like spiritually, I was in a good place where I was like, look, no matter what happens, man, you're doing good. I'm proud of you. Most important thing is you're sober, you're alive. And so let's just do this, you know? And then so we did the first show, and I felt okay. It was like, you know, it's funny doing stand up with all the, cause you know, I'm bald too, so they got to put a lot of anti-shine. Yeah. And so you feel kind of caked up up there. And I was like, whoa, this feels, you're not, you know, I wear makeup when I film, but like on stage, you know, I'm not wearing makeup.
You just put a wig on.
So you feel kind of like you're wearing like a little.
You have full face.
I felt like I was wearing like a little helmet or something. I was like, oh.
This is Lady Frankie.
And then I'm like, you know, then I was like, am I yelling right now? Yeah. But the show went good. Interestingly, the early show was a little rowdier than the later show. But I was like, fuck, did that go good? And I got off stage, and you know, and Ali Wong, who was directing it, she was like, that was great. And then the producers came out, they're like, that was great. And I was like, was it? I was like, I felt like I was young. And I was like, was I sweating? I didn't want to like keep patting my head with the towel on camera from like sweating.
Because then the makeup gets onto it.
Yeah, or like, you know, or I just didn't want that on camera a bunch. But and I was like, do I look sweaty? And then my makeup artist, homegirl, Erin Blinn, I love her. She was just like, she was like, look, I'm not going to let you look like that. Like, if you're looking all sweaty, I will ask them to stop this shit. Like, we're filming. Like, the audience knows we're filming, like, And then Ali was like, come here, I want to show you some playback. And she showed me the playback, and it looked great, sounded great. You know, the jokes were hitting, the crowd was great. And she's like, we got it. Yeah. And she's like, this next one is just fucking. Have fun. Like, we already got it. So, and I was like, fuck, yeah. So, like, you know, this kind of weight comes off you. So I went in the second one, like, just letting my balls hang and and then like within the first 30, I would say the first like minute or two, I just felt everything just like line up, homie. And I'm like, and I remember thinking like about 2 minutes into the set, I thought in my head, I was like, thank you, God, this is it, homie. It's the stars are aligning right now, and it's time to just get it. And then I was like, I just was crispy in my stage presence. I was feeling every movie part in my face. Every movie, like I was feeling the audience, the energy in there. I was just like, dude, when I got off stage, I couldn't physically couldn't stop myself from just yelling like, yeah, motherfucker. You know? Yes. I was like, we did it, homie.
There's no better feeling. Fuck yeah.
I was just like, that's it. You know, I did everything I could. I prepared as much as I could. I gave it my all. And that's it, you know. So it's just like on to the next now. So yeah, but I felt good though.
Is there anything you're working on now that you're excited about?
Yeah, I'm really excited about the movie that I shot with Segura and with Tom Segura, and Luke Wilson's in it.
When does that come out?
My boy Tim Baltz. Next year sometime. Okay. Yeah, they're in post production right now. Yeah. But that shit was so fun because I love like a rated R hard comedy, and I feel like we don't get many of those anymore, you know. And even if I wasn't in it, I'd be like, hell yeah, I want to watch this. But the fact that I got to be in it was cool, and it was just so fun. And same thing, everything kind of just aligned. The chemistry with the cast was great. Genesis Rodriguez was on it. She's like on Lioness, you know, which is definitely not a comedy. It's like she's such a great actress. So there's that like balance of like people that can do drama well, and then helps the jokes hit harder.
Yeah.
I mean, I play a coked out cartel leader.
Right. And
Which is so, dude, it was so funny too, because like my first day on set, you know, they make like a vitamin mix that looks like cocaine, and then they dip the straw in like a honey on the inside, so that you still could snort it, but most of it gets stuck in the honey.
Right.
And then you're just snorting, you know, vitamins. But it was funny because one of the ladies was like, one of the producers was like, yo, do you want to watch a quick tutorial on how to, you know, sell doing cocaine on camera? Like, you know, because they want it to look real.
You're like, I did 20 years of field research.
I was like, oh, I've been to rehab twice. And she goes, oh, okay, yeah. I was like, I got this.
She's like, so you're overqualified.
Right.
If you need me to teach any other actors, I'm here.
I was like, oh, we could do it right here, homie.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's funny.
yeah, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, it was like I did a couple episodes of St. Dennis Medical. I think my episode just aired like, I know it aired a couple of weeks ago. And then I just did that DMV thing, but
fuck yeah! And then we're gonna get our show made.
Yes,
we're gonna get our.
I don't know if I was allowed to talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk about it. Yeah. I mean, whatever. I'm just like, at this point, I'm just like, we're working on a project. I wrote a pilot called Degenerates, and it's about a rehab, and I wrote a role for Frankie.
Yeah, and then
perverted cholo.
And then I was like, yeah. In rehab, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Right up my alley.
Right up my alley.
Yeah, I remember I was like, I read the script, and I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you know, then we're
shopping it around. It takes time. This shit takes time. It's very annoying.
Well, then you went on your like world tour with, you know,
my boyfriend.
Oh, okay, yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it, but
yeah.
I was like, damn, girl, like be on your Instagram, like, what the fuck? You're like, oceanfront villa, I'm just fucking.
When you text me, you're like, next time you go somewhere, let me come. I'll
I'll like carry the bags and shit. Yeah.
It's like we're going to Italy next week. Yeah. Italy sucked.
I was so happy for you though. It did?
It sucked.
What?
It went horribly wrong.
Oh,
it went tits up. Yeah, we got
not with your man.
No. We got catfished by a hotel, and then we went. Yeah.
It was like, how does that those the videos go? Like a getaway to.
Yeah.
It's like,
It was supposed to be like this wellness retreat where it's like you get facials and massages, and there's these pools that you like these what. We got there. It was just like mobbed with Russians. It was the worst massages we've ever had in our lives.
Oh, no.
And we looked at each other and we're like, we got to get the fuck out of here. And then we went to Milan. And then Milan's kind of just a gray, shitty dump. Have you ever been?
I've never been to Milan, but I've been to Italy. Yeah.
Skip it.
You know, I've been to like Rome, Naples, or
the
Amalfi Coast was cool. Really
Amalfi Coast is great. I think you have to go in the summer. We went in the fucking winter.
So okay, I was definitely there.
Going to Chicago in the winter, and be like, Chicago,
yeah, Chicago sucks.
No, obviously, I'm admitting that we fucked up.
It's all good.
I'm admitting
it was like a Fire Fest case.
Yeah, it was total. It's a fire festival. It was a character building trip for our relationship.
Oh hell yeah! Hey, maybe that's what was in the plan.
Yeah. Are you dating?
I'm trying. I recently started like date. You know, I was so focused on work and sobriety number one. And then work and then not dying.
Right.
And then and then they were like, oh, you got to wait a year before you start thinking about that. I was in a relationship too, who I still got, I still love that person very much. But yeah,
is the door open there or?
I don't know. It's like okay. I'm definitely open to it, but and we're still cool with each other. Yeah. But I don't want to press the issue, especially after what I put her through of disappearing. And but we broke up like last October, so like just over a year ago. Mm-hmm. And then recently I was like, all right, because motherfuckers get lonely and shit, and they're just like, or you just want somebody to, hey, let's go to dinner, like I take and then so I started going on dates recently. And it reminded me how much I fucking hate going on dates.
It's the worst.
It's just like,
because in 2 seconds whether or not you want to have the dinner with that person, but then like oftentimes the answer is no, and then you still have to have the dinner.
I mean, luckily it wasn't like that. I was like, all right, there was nobody that I'm like, and I haven't been on that. I mean, it literally been like on 3 days, but it was like there was nobody that I was like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. But it was definitely like, all right, this person's cool, but it's not my vibe or whatever the case. But it's just that first initial, so you like hiking? Like me too? Yeah. How many siblings you have? Where'd you grow up?
What's your favorite color?
Just saying, you have to do all those things.
You're like, I want to kill myself. You're You're like, you want an icebreaker? Let's
Like-
talk about.
Like, I want to get to the fucking kicking it. Homie.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yo,
yeah.
what's up? Let's go do this thing or whatever. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
But yeah.
Are you DMs open? Because my girls will fucking. But the little listeners are gonna fucking
Oh, you're like,
right in.
I'm single, ladies. Yeah.
Single.
I got enough to take you to dinner
Yeah.
whenever. Yeah.
Olive Garden.
Yeah.
Red Lobster.
We treat you right, girl. We'll do that Red Lobster in Inglewood.
Oh my god, you're so funny. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I love seeing you. I love talking to you. I love seeing your success. You're just
You're the
one of my
homegirl,
favorite
Brittany.
people.
I got mad love for you.
I think you
Same.
should teach him the word of the week before he goes.
Oh my god. Word of the week. I do word of the week because I'm trying to keep people smart.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to pick a word or should I pick one?
Nah, you pick one.
Okay.
Wait, keep people smart. So you're gonna tell me what that word means?
Yeah, I'm going to
Oh,
tell
okay.
you.
You're gonna teach me a word.
We're all getting smart together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mm.
I just want a bigger vocabulary. I feel like mine is not that great.
You gotta talk with a English accent so it feels smarter. Like, hey, you know.
Okay, ardent. Do you know what ardent means?
I've heard the word. I've definitely heard the word before. Fuck,
Okay, it
man.
means
now your girl listeners gonna be like, fuck.
Fuck, he's stupid.
Yeah.
No, they're going to be like, perfect. We can take advantage of it.
Gonna get all his money.
Ardent, intense, passionate, devoted, characterized by high emotion. Ardent people show great enthusiasm for causes and people close to them. Barbara, an ardent stamp collector. Ardent stamp collector. Okay,
Damn, yeah. It was like I thought it was. Oh yeah, that's my
Yeah.
vibe. And then it's like stamps. I'm like,
so he lost me at stamps. Has the most impressive collection of French stamps in the school. I hate that example. Ardent, intense, passionate. Frankie is an ardent Coke user.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Frankie is ardent.
Definitely was.
Past tense. Okay, ardent. Whatever. I don't know what I'm ardent about. What am I ardent about? Oh, really nothing. I'm kind of I'm the opposite of ardent. I'm the opposite of ardent. I'm like
No,
I'm
yeah, I feel like
apathetic. I'm apathetic.
you're ardent. Yeah.
I'm not really ardent.
No, what do you mean? I feel like you're ardent about comedy or.
I do comedy. I do comedy because I'm decent at it without trying too hard.
All right.
That's
Taking care of yourself. I think
Ardent.
you do a good job of that.
Oh, thank you.
Well, because, you know, you go to all the places and the spas and the treatments.
The
And,
things I know.
you know, it's. I think that's.
my boyfriend. I was talking about Botox the other day. He's like, "You don't get Botox." I was like,
Yeah.
I'm like, why do you think I look?
Dude, I
your
was dating a
age?
girl that was doing the fillers, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. They get
Those
filler
are-
blindness.
I was like, what is that? She explained it to me. Yeah, I was just like, fuck,
because
that's
it can
crazy.
look like golf balls in the cheek.
Yeah, and they just get in there. And,
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck, that's wild, homie.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
fucking
not
put-
knocking it. It was just. I
No,
just
no,
didn't
no.
know,
It
yeah.
is. It's crazy what we do to look 3 days younger.
Yeah.
It's crazy what we do to look like we slept last night. All right. You're amazing. I love you so much. Tell everyone where they can follow you, find you, all that shit.
Yeah, you can find me at Frankie Quiñones. You probably can't spell that, so just Google comedian Frankie Q. Please watch Creeper's Crib live from my grandpa's garage on YouTube, and then please watch Damn That's Crazy. It's on Hulu, directed by my homegirl Ali Wong. That's my comedy special, and then be on the lookout for me and Brittany show coming to you soon. That's what's up.
Hell yeah. Love you so much.
Love you too.
Thank you for being here.
Hell yeah.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Talking Schmitt. Go follow us on YouTube, and us is just me and Biggie Smalls. It's not it's a one-man show here. Follow us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, and we will see you next week, besties.